Portland Eastern has spoken.
Labour rights and people even closer than that to her are very happy that she lost her seat.
Big up Isat Buchanan in East Portland.
The race between Ann-Marie Vaz of the Jamaica Labour Party and Isat Buchanan of the People's National Party was one of the most dramatic and closely watched contests of Jamaica's 2025 general election. The preliminary count put Isat Buchanan ahead with 8,316 votes. Anmarie Vaz was right behind with 8,181. That's a difference of just 135 votes. A razor-thin margin. But here's the latest. The recount has now been completed, and the official count confirms Buchanan's victory. He gained 45 votes in the recount. Anmarie Vaz lost 5. The margin is now larger than before. The victory is sealed. This confirmation has dominated Jamaica's media over the last 2 days. Some commentators and community members praise Ann-Marie Vaz's visible record of delivery and argue she didn't deserve to lose. But others insist Portland Eastern wanted change. Among younger voters, the reaction is especially revealing. Some students admire Vaz's delivery record, but many say Buchanan represents a new style of leadership, one that speaks more directly to their struggles and ambitions. Almost immediately after being confirmed, Buchanan set out his agenda: land tenure and water access. He called them the 2 most urgent issues facing Portland Eastern, and he pledged to take these matters all the way to Jamaica's highest courts if necessary. So the election is over. The recount is done. Buchanan holds the seat, but the question remains: who is better for Portland Eastern? Who has done more? Who is best positioned to deliver in the years ahead? Let's break it down, one step at a time. Ann-Marie Vaz, the first woman ever to represent Portland Eastern. She entered Parliament in 2019, winning a by-election triggered by the passing of Dr. Linvale Bloomfield of the PNP. Her victory ended decades of PNP dominance. Her background is in philanthropy. She founded the One Jamaica Foundation, dedicated to upgrading schools and supporting early childhood development, classroom repairs, equipment donations, scholarships. Her brand was clear: education and practical support. Her supporters call her Action Ann because she prioritized visible, tangible projects. Let's start with infrastructure. One of her biggest achievements was the rebuilding of the Ginger House to Cornwall Barracks Swing Bridge. That bridge had been washed away in 2014. For almost a decade, farmers and children in the Rio Grande Valley were cut off. Anne-Marie pushed for the project, and the bridge was restored. For locals, this wasn't just concrete and steel. It was dignity. It was access. She also pushed for repairs on the Seaman Valley to Millbank Road, a vital link for farmers moving produce. The repairs restored access and helped revive daily commerce. She tied Portland Eastern's future to the South Coast Highway Improvement Project, a multi-billion-dollar national effort. She argued it would cut travel time, attract investment, and open Portland to more tourism. Whether or not she could claim full credit, she was the loud voice connecting her constituency to this development. Transport was another focus. In 2024 and 2025, school buses were delivered for Portland students. Images of children barred in those buses spread across social media. Parents left heartfelt comments. No more walking miles in the rain. For the first time, my child can get to school on time without begging a ride. Small projects in the grand scheme, but powerful changes in daily life. Water, perhaps the single most pressing issue in Portland Eastern. In 2025, Anmarie Vaz announced upgrades worth more than $600 million. Crystal Spring, Orange Bay, Cascade. Together, these systems are expected to benefit thousands of residents. Communities that have suffered dry taps for years. Again, the work was executed by central agencies, but she was the one in Parliament pushing and in the constituency explaining. Education remained her personal theme. Through One Jamaica Foundation, she helped schools meet early childhood standards. She donated equipment. She provided scholarships. She even gave her first month's MP salary to fund student programs. Smaller but visible projects dotted her record. Bus sheds, coastal seating along the Fort George to Allen Avenue Strip, upgrades to the transport center. Not massive, but visible. Proof to her supporters that Action Ann delivered. Now let's turn to Isat Buchanan. As a newcomer to Parliament, he doesn't yet have the project list that Vaz can point to, but his strengths are different.
There's a difference between social media, which is PR politics, and politics on the ground. I'm young in politics, but I'm not young in life, and I'm not disconnected from the people. I am the people.
He is a lawyer. He speaks the language of rights. He has argued constitutional issues in the Court of Appeal. He has taken on high-profile criminal matters, and he positions himself as someone who can reform systems. Land tenure is his top priority. Many Portland residents live on family lands without proper titles. This blocks them from using land as collateral. It blocks them from securing government support. Buchanan says this is unjust, and in his first interviews after the recount, he doubled down. He said land tenure will be his #1 focus, and he's ready to push the issue to Jamaica's highest courts if that's what it takes. Water is his second pillar, not just laying pipes, but accountability. He says water is a right, not a luxury. He promises to hold agencies to account if delivery falls short. But what makes Buchanan unique is his story. His past includes drug-related convictions in Jamaica and in the United States. He served time. Then he turned his life around. He studied. He qualified as a lawyer. He built a career in criminal and constitutional law. He even worked on Vybz Kartel's appeal. This redemption arc resonates with Jamaicans, especially young Jamaicans, because Buchanan proves that people can change, that your past doesn't define your future, that ambition can rewrite your story. For youth, this is relatable. It's easier for them to see themselves in him than in Vaz, and that gives him an edge, not just as a policymaker, but as an inspiration. This is why Buchanan may have an advantage when it comes to mobilizing the next generation. His life itself is an example. He can look into a room of students and say, I have been where you are. I've made mistakes, but I turned my life around, and so can you. That is powerful. That is leadership beyond infrastructure. But Buchanan is not without controversy. In 2023, he was suspended by the General Legal Counsel for 2 years after crude remarks about the Director of Public Prosecutions. He later apologized. He admitted he crossed the line. A court later granted a stay of the suspension. But the incident raised questions about judgment. Can he maintain composure under pressure? That remains to be seen. On social media, the divide is stark. Ann-Marie Vaz's supporters post photos of buses, bridges, scholarships. They say, she delivers. Critics reply, she only delivers because her husband Darrell Vaz is also an MP and a minister. She gets special treatment. The dynasty issue follows her everywhere. For Buchanan, the online mood is different. Videos of his victory are filled with energy. Supporters chant, Portland needed change. They praise his redemption story. They say, if he can rebuild his life, he can rebuild Portland. Critics hit back, strong lawyer, weak judgment, or we don't want another scandal in politics. And then there's dynasty. Anne-Marie and Darrell Vaz held both Portland seats for years. Some called it teamwork. Others called it a dynasty. Legal, yes, but politically, a concentrated power. And for some voters, that was a step too far. Delivery. Ann-Marie Vaz wins here. She has bridges, roads, buses, and water projects to point to. Her record is visible and tangible. Policy and oversight. This is where Buchanan shines. His legal background equips him to challenge agencies, draft reform, and demand accountability. Integrity and optics both stumble. For Vaz, it's dynasty and nepotism. For Buchanan, it's judgment and temperament. Public sentiment split. Vaz inspires loyalty through her projects. Buchanan inspires energy through his story. And now the recount has confirmed his win. The people of Portland Eastern have chosen him. The margin is larger. The expectations are higher. So who is the better MP for Portland Eastern? If you want immediate visible fixes, Ann-Marie Vaz is the safer choice. She's proven she can deliver infrastructure. If you want long-term reform and a leader who can inspire youth to rise above their circumstances, then Isat Buchanan has the edge, but only if he turns his legal skills into real delivery, and only if he keeps his temperament in check. The truth is, Portland Eastern needs both action and inspiration, delivery and reform, projects and redemption. The recount has settled the contest. Buchanan now officially holds the seat. The question is, can he meet the high expectations? Can he deliver the roads and water his people need, while also inspiring a new generation to claim their greatness? Portland Eastern is at a crossroads, and the nation will be watching closely. This video is for informational purposes only. It is not an endorsement of any political party or candidate. Elections are complex. Outcomes may shift through further legal challenges or appeals. Viewers are encouraged to verify facts and form their own conclusions.